Greetings, dear, beautiful, magnificent spirit soul that you are. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose, into your heart, and out through your mouth. You see. When in doubt, breathe into your heart through your nose and out through your mouth. You see. Because your body is and soul are connected through the breath. And that's why breath exercises and meditations are very, very important. And as you control your breath, you also start controlling your senses and you control your mind. How to control your mind? That's my topic. And how you control your mind is you first watch it. Because most people don't even realize that they're not the mind and they're not the thoughts. Well, you're the thinker, so if you're the thinker, you can't be the thoughts, you see. And then if you take a notice, are you thinking or are you listening? And then you start to notice what other people are thinking and saying and what they all do in common, start to notice, or what is uncommon. And then you start to notice how there's the group think. And now, if you're going to be in a certain group, you have to think like everybody in the group, because if you don't, they're going to kick you out of the group because, you know, you're not thinking like everybody else. Well, I'm a real advocate of absolute free speech. Absolutely. You know, I can deal with that. But it's not about I'm going to control your speech, and I'm going to control your speech, and I'm going to control your speech. Why? Because those are words, and words have meanings. And then people believe the meanings, and then they follow the words, you see. Because the mind is controlling them. You see, that's it. And then when the mind is controlling the person, that's the cart before the horse. And then the person's trying to transform their experience by changing something in the outer without also changing in the inner. So you work on all levels, you see. So how to control the mind, you have to first of all observe it to notice what it's doing and notice what it's doing to you. And everybody's trying to do something to get that mind to stop. And everybody's programmed deeply with the fear of death. And they don't even want to look at that. And it's like, because what is that? It's a loss of all my stuff. It's a loss of my body and what I work for and my prestige and my stuff and my portfolio and my this and that. And see, if you take a look at what does that out of control mind want, it wants to keep you focused on the mind and on those thoughts and believing them and allowing those words and those thoughts to control in your relationships, in your job, in how you are with yourself. How you are, it's you take a look at all the stuff that's going on that keeps people mundane, keeps people petty, keeps people in a painful situation because of the thoughts. See, Satchit Ananda Vigraha, that's Sanskrit, which describes the soul, that our consciousness is eternity, consciousness, and bliss. Our nature is eternity, consciousness, and bliss, and we always have a form to express through. You're not formless, but you're, see, when people say if you don't have the 3D form, then you don't have a form. Really? This reality that we're perceiving, you see, is a concept. Yes, everything has a name, it's a concept, it's a belief, it's a but it's a copy in a sense, because just like we're who we really are, and then we make a copy of that fits the people we're around, fits getting the job, fits this, that, and all this stuff. And when without doing one's meditation and without our really observing the mind and noticing what it's doing and the power that we're giving it and what we believe it is and all of that, how can you let go of something if you don't want to let it go or know what it is. And people say, well, it's a good thing. I need my mind because I have all this knowledge and I have all this intelligence. But you have knowledge about this reality, you see. You don't need to have all this information about this reality, because this reality is just an all-changing reality depending on consciousness. You have to have knowledge of yourself, okay? So when you have knowledge of yourself, then how you control the mind is, first of all, once you notice this, you want to start taking your energy away from the mind and the thoughts and bring that energy to yourself. And you could do this through the breath. Inhale in through the nose, into your heart, and then exhale through your mouth. Remind yourself to do this on a continual basis. And as you do that, your energy is going to increase, because the mind that you're believing these thoughts are draining your energy, draining vitality. Like people will say they don't feel like living, or they want to die, or they want to, they're living in hatred or resentment, or still living over stuff that happened years ago, or 5 minutes or a moment ago, you see. And bringing that into the eternal now. See, this now is pristine. This moment is a pristine moment. And it is you being fully just present as yourself. And as you control your mind, that's why I'm not doing, in a sense, retreats at Mount Shasta, because you're not retreating from something. You're not running away. It's more of it's an inner quest. It's a life quest. It's not a vision quest, so to speak, a knowing, a realization of who you are. I do workshops, you see. And that you come to work. It's not a vacation that you're going somewhere to come, if you come to Shasta. You're coming here to work, to do that work on yourself, to free yourself from these limiting concepts and beliefs that have been terrorizing humanity and animals since the beginning of time. And when we get that time is a construct, you see, because we are the now, we start owning our powers and bringing those back into ourselves, rather than giving them away to our powers to everybody and everything outside of ourselves, as if that is going to save us from ourselves, you see. And when we do this, we're not against anyone. I'm not fighting anyone or anything am I fighting. Because if doing that, I am exhausting my resources. If I take my resources, and my resource is my reservoir of my connection with the divine that I am part of and you are part of, and I have that divine consciousness, you see, then everywhere you walk is holy ground. And you're no longer terrorizing yourself, you see, or anyone else. And at the same moment, because you are so in touch with and being who you are, not who you think you are, not who we pretend to be, not the character we're building, but to take those layers off so that the real you may please stand up. Will the real you please stand up? And why, when people get depressed and tired and all of that, it's being beaten down so much. It's being beaten down so much. It's like dumbing down. You can't do it. It's not possible. You're too this. You're that. You're blah, 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 on and on and on and on. And we're saying that to ourselves as well as everybody else. And once you get that, you don't have to have that. That isn't who you are. And so therefore, you do the work. You go where you need to go. You read what you need to do. You study what you need to study. And when you can do that, you see, and you control that mind, then you can use that mind to be your best friend. Yes. Because you're now in divine mind. And that which is the false, you see, that which is the false falls away. I don't have to fight it. I don't have to hate it. I just have to be who I am, you see. Just be who you are. Be you to the full. That's it.